Hey, welcome back. Another day, another vlog. The Friday edition, last day of the week, working week for us all, including me. I get to have a couple of days with the family, which is good. Maybe try and get a little bit of catch up done. I have got a bit of a big pile of videos to get sorted, but I did get photos into Lightroom last night, and that's about it. I had a bit of a let's have a sleep night after a few late ones this week, so pretty happy. Happy with how the last video went out. That went really good. If you haven't seen it already, I did link on through Facebook. Go over and see. I did an interview program with Mikey McManus. Go check out his YouTube Creator Spotlight. It was a little bit of fun. I was very nervous doing it. I really had never done it before. I've done radio interviews, but it was sort of live, and this was a pre-recorded setup, and I think it'd come out okay. I think I waffled on a bit, as you all probably know if you watch this show regularly. I think I get a little bit enthusiastic. I'm not enthusiastic. I guess I'm just passionate. If I want to talk about something, and then I guess I talk about it. So yeah, sometimes. So yeah, look at it. So yeah, Mikey McManus. Go over to his YouTube channel. Check it out. He does this great series, Creator Spotlights. Just gets all different sort of creators on there and interviews them, and it's some funny stuff. It's lighthearted. It's not craziness or full technical stuff, but it's a little look and a good way to introduce yourself to new different creators that are out there, and there's heaps of us everywhere. And the beauty, and that's one of the best things I love about YouTube, the fact that whatever you're into, no matter how crazy you think you are, it's just something you love. Either there's someone doing it or you should be doing it. So, and that's the best part about YouTube. It is truly a universal platform. Has no borders, no discriminations, no nothing. Anyone that's into something can create something, and someone somewhere will want to watch it. So that's the beauty of it. Even my channel, sometimes I think, why would anyone watch me sit there and waffle on? But I do appreciate you all that do come and listen, and hopefully I do provide some information and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty cool, and it was something different, and I do appreciate him for letting us do it. So that was another cool, something else to try, which is always good. Now, we've got a big day, so I want to get into it. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, and I'll just get going. No time like the present. Now, next video before I start is John Forrest hike I did. It's another I think it's a national park, the John Forrest one. I think it's a national park, but it's another park, again, just on the outskirts of Perth. Now, this one's got a beautiful old railway tunnel, which was built about 100 years ago, or I think early 1900s, I think it was. They put it right through this big mountain. When you go there today, you go, why would they do it? Obviously, back then it was a huge deal and saves a massive amount of time and lets that train get in. But very, very cool, this old, beautiful tunnel. I went there, it was an overcast day. I wanted to go and check out some waterfalls that are supposed to be in the area to do possibly a shoot. Obviously, there was no rain. It was overcast, but no rain at all, so that was pretty much dry. But I did get some other funky photos and got a bit of a video out, so hopefully that should good. Or more on that, so we're getting there. Okay, Canon. Let's get straight into all the Canon stuff. There's a fair bit there on my pad of information. All right, just getting all the technical stuff done. Rightio. Canon, through Canon Rumors, most of this stuff, a couple bits and pieces through others. Canon Rumors, that article on Canon's first quarter profits. They've announced, obviously, doesn't take a rocket science to work that out, it's going to be low, definitely dropped, but they're still very, very confident. They're saying that even though profits are down expected, they will continue with the current plan. The R5, they didn't mention the R6, but we'll talk about that later. The R5 9 new lenses, I'm pretty sure we've gone all through that will all launch this year, so that's definitely locked in, that those other lenses going to definitely be coming. Also going to be launching a price range products. Price range products was the words the executive used. So that's an interesting word. So whether, I'm assuming what he basically means is a more price competitive set of lenses or cameras or such. Much like the M50, I think is probably the best pound for pound, best entry level video photography vlogging setup you can get. I think your next level after this is if you get serious and go into, say, an EOS R or new R5, that's the pro level, so maybe this R6 that's coming or something along those sort of levels, but they're bringing out a more price conscious. So I think that'll be good to suit these RF mounts. Currently you've got, the lenses are all $3,000 a pop, which is more than the friggin' camera. So I'm assuming they're going to be bringing out a cheaper lens. How that will affect the quality of them, which will be hard to step back from that RF. But if you've just got an R or an RP, it'll be good to get some options in cheaper glass, different primes and such to suit. So I think that's good, and it's good that they are going to, now they've got their high-end stuff in there with the glass, they're going to bring out that cheaper version, so that's good. They're going to expand the sales of the compact bodies in full, the camera bodies in full frame. So they're going to be bringing out more. I'm assuming that's what they're meaning is, obviously we know about the R6 coming, so that'll be R5, R6, RP, R5, R6. So that'll be 4 full frame digital cameras in the lineup. So I'm assuming that R6 will be there. May hear something at the end of the year about another one, but I'm assuming that's there. And they also said focusing on a high margin G series model. So the G power shots and stuff like that, they're going to be putting a lot into them. They obviously make a good amount of money, good profit from them. So they're going to be doing a lot of pushing in that. So you may see some sales, you may see some new models or new features coming out in those. So if you're for travel photography and stuff like that, it's going to be a great time. This year is going to be a good time to get something that's going to be probably over-spec'd at a cheap price. So some good news in that regards. Now from the other notes on Canon rumors, R5 and R6, the current rumors now, it's not going to ship till July. R5 has been pushed back again. We did think it was going to be released last week when we got that update. That didn't happen. Now it's saying on Canon rumors that it's possibly going to be July, and it's going to be minimum quantities when it does release. So if you did want one and you have they're roughly saying about 3,500 US, so that's probably about 6 to 7 Australian, which is just crazy. You'll need to get in and make sure you get a priority, and if you've got friends in Canon, I suggest you pull your strings, because there's not going to be many to be floating around to you to get hold of. So your money might be sitting with them for your deposit. I think you can put a $100 deposit now down on DigiDirect. I checked that the other day. They'll take that. They don't know the prices yet, but they'll take a $100 deposit, and I think there's going to be a fair few people smashing these deposits down just so they can, I guess, get in the queue and then make a decision later if they want to drop it once it gets released. Now the R6 is still going to be announced in May. That's the Canon rumors are saying. So that's not going to be put back. So the R5 still hasn't been fully announced, but yet we know a lot that they've released specs. But the R6 is still due to be released next month as well. Now the R6 is going to be, the rumoured specs on that, a 20 megapixel frame. So it's going to be a smaller frame type. It's going to have full CMS sensor. It is a new sensor. It's not the same one as in the 1DX Mark III. So definitely a different new sensor. IBIS 1220 frames, 4K 60p max. 1080 is going to be the 120, so it does drop off on the specs a fair bit from the R5. Dual card slots, no top digital screen, and a lower resolution EVF than the R5, and a crappier build quality. So it's a sort of tricky one to spec because you've got the R5, which has all these amazing features, and the build quality is something that hasn't been mentioned. We're unsure of. I guess I've had my hands on a 1DX Mark III at the release function here, DigiDirect, and that was really cool with the Canon guys. Is there going to be a 1DR, I'm assuming? So that's going to be a ridiculous price. But for that build quality, because this R5, we don't know what, all the specs we've heard, we haven't heard much on the stills. We know that pretty much the 45 megapixel sensor's locked in. That's pretty much, we got that out of the video and out of the sensor size. You can do the calculations to come back. We don't know how this thing's going to be built. It looks basically like an R, but the R's aren't super rugged and reliable that you can take into Antarctica or the wilderness like the 1DX. That's solid magnesium frame with a heavy duty waterproof, dustproof, just drop it and it lasts forever sort of a camera. So there's still room to flow there, so it's a little bit, but they are confirming that there's going to be a quality drop from the R5 to R6. That's a bit of a shame. I don't see why you would, because the R's, if the R5 is pretty much the same as the R, it surely should be pretty much just one body with different features in it. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But we'll probably hear about the R6 by the sounds of it before we hear about the R5. And I'd say because they've got the lower specs, it's a good way to do it. Bring that out first and then go up to your R5 to your next level, and then give everyone a bit of an idea of what features they need as to what price point they want to smash. Right, whew, that was a big one. Right, now Samsung, swap over to Samsung. They're in the process of trying to make a 600 megapixel sensor. So give you a bit of a clarification, your eye is roughly 500 megapixels. Samsung have a goal of 600 megapixels on a camera sensor, on a digital sensor that can bring light in. So the trick is once you get it so big, it's hard to get light into all those little pixels. The 108 megapixels use a new form of technology that allowed, they didn't need as much light or something. They did something to get that happen, and that was a big jump for them. They're confident they can do it. That's the goal they put on their engineers. So I guess that's a good idea to where you're going, that somehow ridiculously it'd be massive sensor. Holy crap. You imagine the photos with a 600 megapixel panorama. Oh. You need a 1 terabyte. You need you'd be punching out photos at 1-2 tetrabyte. It'd be just insane. So I thought that was pretty interesting. That was on Canon Room as well, but they've got a whole division that's focused on this goal. This is in the next 5 years, I'd say. You're probably not going to be 5 to 10 years. We're going to be looking down the barrel of this ridiculous amount. Now, the good thing is it's amazing the difference between when you put your eye into a camera and look out compared to what you can see, and the difference. The photos and the details that you could get with something this big would be just insane, and it would be, it gives you, I guess, a whole new way to look at things, and you'll be able to capture everything you see. So as you see it, you can then pass it on to people in your pictures, so you get that full experience of actually what you've seen or what you saw when you were there for that moment. So I think that's good. Samsung, not shy of the big targets. I think they probably will get there. It's just going to take a bit of time, how long it'll take. Now, the Canon.image.com, we talked about that, and I was concerned about the Wi-Fi and stuff. Finally, someone's come out on YouTube, and I do appreciate it. Tony Northrup's has a run-through on the image.com. He's sort of, I think it was a little bit forward and clickbaity in the fact that he said it's going to be the best thing ever since digital cameras. And I don't know if it's going to be that good as yet, and I'll tell you why. But basically he's run through how the image.com and how to set it up and how to work it and all that, and that was fantastic. But he also, what he explained that Canon doesn't do on their website, or I couldn't find anywhere else, and I've asked a few people, is how to get this Wi-Fi to work while you're out. And basically you have to tether your camera to your phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot. So the only problem is then I can't use my Canon app while this is tethered, I don't think. I've got to have a bit of a play around and work with it to see if that works. Now what he also said was what the test files, he got it all set up and it all worked, but to actually upload from the camera to the Wi-Fi network was ridiculously slow. Now he was at home, and this was the funny bit as an Australian, and you've got to give us this. His network at home, his Wi-Fi network, runs at a measly 500 gigabytes, or 500 meg a second, which is about, what do I get? On a good day, I can get 80, and I've got the most expensive I can get as just a consumer. Without the next stage up, I think I can get to 300 megabytes if I pay $1,000 a month just for internet. So yeah. Australia's got nowhere near that, but on his 500 megabyte a second home Wi-Fi, because it's only a 2.4 gigahertz in the camera, pushing it out, it was 30 seconds per photo, per raw photo to upload it. Now, you might take 100 to 200 to 300 shots. Say 100, so it was about an hour, I think he said it uploaded his photos. So yeah, it is super mega slow on the older cameras. The R5 is rumoured to have a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, so that may speed it up, and it's going to have to, unless you're overnight, sitting in camp overnight and camping, where you can just sit there. You're going to have to run your phone on a Wi-Fi, you're going to need a power bank just to run it, and your data you're going to use is going to be ridiculously through the roof, which was the other big thing. I think I got 120 meg or 120 gig a month on my phone, and I use that regularly because I've got to upload my videos at work, and you just start putting 200-300 photos in there. There's going to be 5 to 6 gig of photos and video and stuff from a shoot. You start punching that up on a 2-3 times a week, you're looking at 10 to 20 gig a week. You're going to easily smash your data plans, and that's as big as you can get. I think 150 gig I think you can get now, but it's going to be tricky. I think this will really work well once Elon gets his SpaceX internet that doesn't matter where you are, you can get the full high-speed broadband. That's when this might work really well. At the moment, especially in Australia, in the States, it's probably going to be a lot better because their phone service and their data plans and all that's a little bit cheaper and a lot better serviced. Here, it's going to be super tricky. 5G comes out, it's going to make a difference as well. That will then obviously make it a little bit quicker. But it was good to get a little bit more detail on it, although I think Australia is really not going to benefit out of this for a fair while yet. I guess that's why they haven't advertised, because it's really a territorial benefit at the moment. It's going to, in places like Japan and USA and some places in Europe where they get ridiculous, you get 1 gigabyte internet, where we don't even have that, nowhere near that speed in Australia, unless you're paying thousands of dollars a month, which is just not feasible. So yeah, it was good to get it, but yeah, it was super slow. So be aware of that. With that, if you are going to sign up, it's probably still at this point in time, especially in Australia, just easier to do your SD cards and keep it back up. And if you're concerned about something happen on your camera or your SD card, it's probably still better to go get one of those hard drives, what they call the SMEG, those portable backup devices that are built in battery packs as well, that you can just put your SD card straight in and take it straight out of the camera, back it straight up, and it's safe. One of those, that's probably a better option still at the moment. Rightio, the DJI, we knew there was a drop coming on the 27th. We talked about that the other day, the release. Well, it's already leaked out what it is. It's the Mavic Air 2. There's a little picture, you'll see that on the thumbnail. It looks not really average. It looks a little bit average. It looks like a development prototype, so not of the highest quality, the picture. Apologies, but that was just the leak. Now, I did get some specs off it. They talked about it over in Forono's Photos. He's talked about it. 1080 transmission to phone. So that's good, high def, that's cool. It's going to use OcuSync 2, which is really good. So that's normally from your Mavic Pro version, which then gives it 8K range for transmission and for running. So that's, again, insane. Active track 3.0, point of interest 3.0, quick shots, blah, blah, 2.0, whatever. Quick shots, advanced pilot assist. It'll do 68 Ks an hour, so that's pretty fast. That's not bad at all with a 34-minute flight time. 4K video, no frame rate locked in as yet until the release. We've got only 3 days, so not far away. It's going to use a 1/2-inch sensor. It's a CMOS sensor, 12 megapixel camera, and you can stitch those photos up to 48 megapixel. So that's pretty good. 12 megapixels is pretty good for low light. So that'll be a good little unit. If it comes in at the same cost range as the old Mavic Air range, I think it'll do really well. I thought we would have. It did actually look shaped like a Phantom in the photo on the email I got. You would have seen on the thumbnail. So it didn't. And then when you see this body, I don't know how they got that angle because it doesn't look anywhere near as smooth. So whether they've changed since that or the whole rumours thing, it is a rumour. You never know. 3 days, we'll definitely find out about that. But some more stuff in the drone world for you to play with. Now, last but not least, I don't know how you say it's not funny. You have to look at it and say it's funny. But it's either funny or ridiculously stupid. And I'm going to go with the second option. Trump, in an interview, our old good mate Trump is always good for a laugh, suggested injecting disinfectant into the lungs to kill COVID-19. And because of he's seen how quickly the disinfectant kills it on your hands and what it does when it's on a surface, and why don't we try? That's an option, and we could try disinfect. Now I don't know if he was just casually talking and just talking out his thoughts, which I think he might have been, but everyone's recording your words. You're at a press conference. You don't say stuff that you're thinking because I hope to Christ some dickhead doesn't go and get a friggin' syringe full of disinfectant and trying to start shoving it in their chest, trying to disinfect their lungs, because someone dying is not what he needs. That's just, again, as a leader, you can't say. You have to sometimes pull back what you want to say or what you're thinking, because that was one of the dumbest things I've ever heard even him say. That is, effing moron. Wow. And that's the only way I can finish this show is something just insane like that. So from Donald Trump, if you're looking for an option and you've got COVID-19, he reckons maybe inject some disinfectant into your lungs. Wow. Anyway, hope you have a good weekend. Whatever you do, don't do what Trump says ever, because he is a dickhead and a moron. We all know that. And I will see you all Monday. Thanks for stopping by. Hope your weekend's not too bad. Try a new park to walk in or something while you're social distancing, and I'll see you all again on Monday. Anyway, that's it for me. If we're going out to a park for exercise or just walking around the house, losing your mind, I'll see you all back here Monday. Peace.